Hello, everybody. Welcome to this new live webinar by Liquit. My name is Linda Karen, and we are happy for you to join us. You are a Liquit Setup Commander customer, so you already know us quite well. Today, before we jump in, I wanted to let you know that the session is being recorded and will be made available immediately after we wrap up the event. And we highly encourage you to ask questions. So please go ahead and ask your questions by writing them in the Ask a Question box here on the BrightTALK tool. And you can do this throughout the session, but we will answer them at the end of the session. And then also I wanted to point out some interesting links that you can find in the Attachments tab, where you can find some information about related blogs and videos and some other interesting links on our website. Let me hand it over to our speaker today. Nico Ziek is our Senior IT Architect here at Liquit, and he's going to tell you all about Liquit Release and Patch Management and Liquit Workspace, and of course he's going to show it to you. Take it away, Nico.
Well, thank you, Linda Karen. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to this webinar. As said, my name is Nico Ziek. Within Liquit, I'm an IT Architect. So I help our partners and customers to understand our solution a little bit better than they already know right now. You guys already know quite a lot about Setup Commander. And today is take the next step with Liquit now. So what have we've been doing with Setup Commander for the past 2 years? So what happened and what's going to be the future of it? And a small introduction about Liquit Workspace. So without further ado, I'll jump right in right now. So Liquit Setup Commander, the past, present, and future. So we, as you just might know, Liquit acquired Setup Commander or Rofabu software just about 2 years ago. So 2 years ago, they had a good talk, the founders of Rofabu software and the founders of Liquit, and it was an awesome match. So what Rofabu software was doing was really powerful for application management, packaging, repackaging, and deployment of applications. And Liquit Workspace was focusing on delivering the ultimate workspace to end users. So that combination together was a really strong combination. So that was the start of the design of the setup store, as you just might know today. So of course you still have the Rofabu Setup Commander software tool. We've introduced in the past our setup store containing thousands of applications, and we've combined that into Liquit Workspace in Liquit Workspace Release and Patch Management. I'm going to show this live later to you. So what's going on in the near future? Of course, it's a continuous transformation into the modern workspace. Everybody is doing it, and also Liquit is focusing heavily on bringing you the modern workspace to end users. And the modern workspace consists of applications. So it's not just a Windows environment, it's all about the applications. And that's why Liquit Setup Commander has a really strong future inside Liquit Workspace. So what are we building it currently? So currently we're expanding our Setup Commander functionalities inside Liquit Workspace. And we are currently, and the slide goes forward automatically, that's not a good idea. So we're currently expanding the functionalities of it. So we integrated at first Liquit Setup Commander into Liquit Workspace. We call it now Liquit Workspace with Release and Patch Management, bringing you automatic application deployment and delivery from our setup store, incorporating with our DTAP staging. And in the near future, we're also going to support more modern applications like MSIX and Microsoft Appetite applications from our Setup Commander solution. So then we are able to bring in the full stack of applications into a full modern workspace. So Liquit Setup Commander is part of Liquit Release and Patch Management. So in basis you have Liquit Setup Commander as a separate solution. Then you have Liquit Workspace, and Liquit Release and Patch Management is a module on Liquit Workspace, combining the power of Liquit Workspace and the Liquit Setup Commander into one single solution, delivering the optimal end user experience to all your users from one single portal, one single pane of glass. So what is Liquit Workspace? So a couple of you just might already know what Liquit Workspace is, but for the people who don't, I'll do a small introduction about Liquit Workspace first to what we actually do. So basically, Liquit tries to offer IT like water from the tap. So what that means is that as an end user, I see an icon, I click on it, and the application will run. As an IT admin, I can do anything on the back end to deliver the application in optimal way for the end user. But it doesn't stop there. So what most solutions will do with delivering a new workspace is actually rip and replace the old workspace. We don't like it at Liquid, so the first thing we do, most commonly in the private cloud, we connect to the current IT footprint. We read out what's available on your IT footprint. For instance, your Citrix environment, direct it into your new modern workspace, and from that point on, your new workspace is ready to go. Next, of course, public cloud is upcoming, so we also support everything in the public cloud, like Windows Virtual Desktop, Microsoft Apptest applications, but also software as a service applications. And because you're already connected to your current IT footprint and it's already available inside your workspace, the next step is going to be transformation to the new target platform and transform your application per application, so you don't do a rip and replace anymore. And the last one, the personal cloud, I think is the most important one of all. It's not a cloud per se, it's more or less the way a user would like to work. So in the office I use my laptop, and during nighttime I would like to use my iPad at home to check my email. The most important thing is for an end user is that my application simply just run. I don't want to think about it. And as an IT department, we need to manage those applications. We don't want to manage those devices specifically. We want to enable the user to run the application in a way that the user simply can click on it. So let's dive in a little bit further what Liquid Workspace actually is. So basically, Liquid Workspace consists of quite a lot of things, and I'm not going to cover them all today because we don't simply have the time for it. But if you have any questions, please feel free to ask any questions at any time. And of course, we can set up a follow-up meeting to dive in a little bit deeper what it actually is. So first of all, on the top left corner in the blue bar, you see smart icons. Smart icons is actually what the user will see. That's the most important part of a workspace. I see an application. I don't know where I'm coming from, what I want to do. I simply click on it and my application will run. So to achieve that, Liquid provides you with software delivery. That is, of course, a part of Liquid Release and Patch Management, but also your own separate packages. So with software delivery, Liquid delivers any form of application. Traditional applications like MSIs and executables, modern applications like MV applications, or even state-of-the-art applications like MSIX or Microsoft Apptest. Liquid supports them all. So we leave no app behind. That's actually one of the statements of Liquid. With software delivery, it doesn't stop over there because it's more important what's happening with those applications. The things around those applications like printers, registry settings, ODBC settings, everything a user needs to have but doesn't want to think about to operate an application perfectly. So Liquid also provides you with workspace management. And we can do that inside your virtual environments like Citrix, like WVD or RDS, but also on your endpoint, so on your laptop or whatever device you want to use. What makes Liquid really powerful is the addition of the Setup Commander solution inside Liquid Workspace with a release and patch mechanism. So we've incorporated the setup store inside Liquid Workspace and added a fully automatic detach system to it. So you can download an application from the setup store, fill in the wizard as an answer file to create a vendor MSI with a customization on top of it. The task will be deployed automatically inside Liquid Workspace, and with our detach system, you can stage the applications to a development, acceptance, test, and production staging for end users. So an end user can test an application, give you feedback, but you don't impact the current production environment. And if the application is approved, you can stage it into production, and Liquid will automatically create a snapshot for you. So if something goes wrong, you can revert that snapshot again and the old version is back again. All our applications and all packages, so it's not an limitation with applications, but we call packages, so they can also be a printer or whatever you want to place inside a package, can be placed inside our catalog. And even it can come with a workflow for approval. So a user can select an application from the self-service catalog, and sometimes a manager needs to approve that application. Liquid is capable of implementing such a workflow. What makes it really strong, and IT like water from a tap for an end user, is all with filtering and context. So on every task within Liquid Workspace, we can place filters on applications, on deployments, on software delivery. Just give you the right implementation of an application and a setting at the right time for the right device and the right context for an end user. So Liquid is also a single sign-on solution, so we provide you with single sign-on for all modern web apps or modern applications like software as a service application like Citrix, like WVD. And last but not least, Liquit can also do full system deployments. So where Microsoft Autopilot and Intune has its limitations, Liquit go over and beyond the capabilities of those solutions. And therefore we can replace traditional solutions like, for instance, System Center, we can replace MDT or other solution software stacks for deployment. Keep in mind, Liquit doesn't do any bare metal deployment, but as soon as our agent is on that device, Liquit is capable of deploying your endpoints. It can be a local endpoint, it can be a Citrix golden image, it can basically be anything you want to deploy as long as a Windows device. On the top end you see our connectors. So in the first slides I showed you our connectors. The thing is, we connect to those environments, read out what's available, and make your migration to a new platform transparent. Or create a hybrid environment with local applications, with some Citrix on-premise applications and some WVD applications in the cloud. Because the user just sees the smart icon, the icon will adapt to the user's possibilities and the user's needs. The user doesn't see any difference at all. So then you can create a true hybrid environment without any hassle of traditional way of working. On the bottom side, you see some capabilities we have to deliver our front end to the end users. So we serve you with our own web launcher, which I'm going to show you in a couple of seconds. But we also come with, for instance, a Microsoft Teams app, where Microsoft Teams can be a full-scale workspace. What's the advantage of that? Well, all companies have a wish to do communication and collaboration. So Microsoft Teams is a communication and collaboration platform, but they lack the ability of launching any applications. Liquit brings you that ability into Microsoft Teams. So as soon as you log in into Microsoft Teams, you will single sign on into Liquit Workspace, delivering you all the application, but also do the automatic tasks on your endpoint. So the only workspace a user will have is, for instance, Microsoft Teams. We also support scenarios like external portals. A Microsoft Web Part is available. We have an API available that you can deliver any form of application in virtually any online system. But we also support just native in your start menu, icon, taskbar. And one of the brilliant features of Liquit Workspace is that we have an offline mode. So we're not only an online workspace, we deliver applications and services as native as possible. And as soon as a user loses internet connection, Liquit will adapt to offline mode. So the user is still able to run the applications locally. Of course, the application needs to support such situations. So how can you deploy Liquit Workspace? So Liquit supports on-premises scenarios, so you can do a full on-premise installation. Liquit supports cloud offerings, so Liquit offers it as a software as a service from our cloud, but our partners most commonly also have their own Liquit cloud environment. And a full hybrid scenario, so a part of your service on-premise and a part of the service is in the cloud, depending on where a user is, it will adapt where the user will connect to. So the Liquit Workspace value. Or faster onboarding. Liquit Workspace connects to existing platforms. That makes onboarding for new technologies really fast. So it's for Liquit Workspace, it's the last front-end migration you will ever do. From that point on, you get a Liquit, of course, a workspace, so you can adapt technology as you would like. Liquit comes with a single administrative console. So everything is managed from one console. Actually, the workspace itself is also the management console. So if you have admin rights, you have to manage it from the same web page. So we deliver the most consistent end user experience. We deliver all applications on all devices. And Liquit is full context aware, delivering applications just right, just in time for the right device, the right user, in the right scenario. And it will adapt constantly. Liquit also comes with brand flexibility. So you're able to brand and rebrand the portal for your company, for your customers, but also for if you have multiple entities within your company, you can give multiple brand entities within one portal. We bring you self-service portals, we bring our smart icons, and we can integrate in internet solutions of virtually any solution, delivering the flexibility to deliver any application into any platform you would like, giving you the optimal workspace for your end users at choice. So some popular use cases, I'm not going to cover them all. But the move from legacy application to the modern workspace is a really powerful one. Of course, save money, build for the specific user. Not everyone needs the same and needs everything. So you can redirect some users to a power platform like Citrix or even on-premise. And the other case is just a local application is just right for the end user or on an RDS platform. So with a true hybrid environment, you can save a lot of money. So with our release and patch mechanism, which I'm going to show you later as part of Liquit release and patch management, we reduce administrative time. So you can simply select an application from our setup store, download and deploy that application, don't need the packaging anymore, and a request for change or an update becomes really easy because we can reapply those wizards again. With that, we can reduce support tickets, saving you money and time for your end users and make your users more happy. And of course, deliver any application and fast application packaging with our Setup Commander solution. So for now, I'm going to switch over to a live screen, giving you a small demo about Liquit Workspace and about release and patch management. You should be able to see my screen right now, and I'm going to switch over to our Liquit demo system. So as you can see, I'm now at a live demo environment, demo.liquit.com. So this is actually what Liquit Workspace looks like. Liquit Workspace is a workspace aggregating all applications in one single pane of glass for the end user. So what you see here is actually a combination, aggregation of all sorts of applications. As an end user, I don't know what's going on in this. So what do I have here? My workspace. I have a contact screen, which I can see, where I can see my colleagues, and this is me. And I can see some basic information about who am I, if my administrator allowed, who's my manager, which department am I a member of, my phone number, my email address. And for the service desk, I can do remote control. Here is our catalog, and with our catalog, I'm able to request any applications from my catalog myself. So this one doesn't come with a workflow for approval because it doesn't work good in a demo scenario. And you see some information about my application. In our catalog, we're able to publish an FAQ, frequently asked questions, some media about this application, how is it supposed to work, and all extra stuff, some extra information. We can redirect you to the website of the vendor, and here I'm going to request my application. So I press Get. So the application is now removed from my workspace, from my catalog, and is now actually on my workspace. So this is actually quite a smart system, and when I click on, for instance, 7-zip, 7-zip will launch a local application on a local device because Liquit is configured in such a way. What we try to achieve is as soon as I see my icon, the application will be able to click and run. What was going on the back end while launching 7-zip is actually quite smart. So Liquit followed a sequence. So it followed the sequence of installing, of checking first, is the application available on my device? As I'm an end user, I just want to work with my application. I don't know where I am, what kind of device I have, and certainly don't know if the application is already installed, yes or no. Liquit will handle this all for you. So I clicked on the application, and first thing Liquit did was check whether or not my application is available. It wasn't available, so Liquit followed the install sequence. First, Liquit tried to install the 32-bit 7-zip application. But it comes with a filter. So Liquit decides whether or not applications should be applicable for an end user. In this case, 32-bit. My platform architecture did not get a hit. So Liquit went to the next one. And it's actually same MSI, but then with a different filter, x64, specifically for the 64-bit machines. Liquit installed this one for me. So the result is the application is now available. But whether or not this one was successful, Liquit will go to the next sequence. So in this case, the launch sequences. The launch sequences are actually, Liquit tries to run the application local if possible, but only if the file is available on my local system and when I'm external. Because I'm working from home today, I've set the filter to external. So both needs to be positive, otherwise Liquit will simply skip the task and go to the next one. In that case, it would be an RDP session. So with an RDP session, you can virtually run this application. So this is a scenario that I can run the application always, as long as I have an internet connection. IT like water from the tap. And we can add as many tasks to this as we would like with as many filters. So for instance, I can add extra actions. For instance, I want to attach a virtual disk, actually for AppAttach or other virtual disk systems. Connect the drive mapping to my local device, connect the printer, upload or configure some files. Basically, everything you need to do for workspace management for an application and everything around those applications. And what we try to achieve is not only to run that application, but if it's not possible to run that application, give the user an alternative to run that application. So provide the user with a Citrix session, provide the user with a WVD session, or the remote app system. And Liquit is also the solution that will manage and configure those remote scenarios. So we also manage the Citrix environment with an image deployment, with the workspace management, and application delivery and management and release and patch. So now I'm going to show you the Liquit release and patch mechanism with our setup store. So I go into our connectors, and here you see a couple of connectors to another Liquit environment. So Liquit is, in this case, set up in a multi-tenant scenario with a connector to WVD, Windows Virtual Desktop, and to our setup store. So I'm going to our setup store right now, and this is actually the part that came from the Setup Commander software solution. We have our connector to the setup store. I'm going to browse the resources, and now I'm going to live package the Google Chrome software for you. So here you see the repository of all sorts of applications coming just out of the box, and I'm going to search for Google Chrome. I got to do it right. And here you see Google Chrome for Businesses. So I select Google Chrome for Businesses 64-bit. I want to deploy this application to my test users because I'm already developing my application, so I'm going to deploy it to my test users. There might already be an application, so I'm going to update my existing package, and I want to call it Google Chrome, so I'm going to change the name. The user doesn't need to know that 64-bit. We work with filters. Package type is default, so that means is managed by default, and a managed package means that if there is an update, Liquit is able to automatically download that application again and publish it to your test users again. So after this, we've created a wizard. We're going to create a wizard, and if there's an update, Liquit is able to self-download that application again to your test users. So the user see in their workspace a little star that's a new version available. If the user clicks on it, it will automatically be updated for the end user, and the user can test that application. And when it's good to go, you can stage that application into your production environment. I'm going to show that in a couple of minutes. Next. Well, here you see some information about the application. So on the back end, Liquit monitors those applications like Google Chrome and thousands of other applications 24/7. So all those applications, if there is an update, will be downloaded into our setup store. And what Liquit will do, we do the security scan on those applications. We monitor the application CVE numbers for hashing, for malware and antivirus. And if there is something not right with that application, you see a big red bar above this application. So it doesn't mean that you can't download the application, but we make you aware that there is something found in that application. For this application, it isn't there. So you see the release notes of the vendor, some info of the vendor, and if applicable, a knowledge-based article from our own solution. So if I click on it, it will redirect you to our support environment and some information about the Google Chrome package. Here you actually see the information about a setup commander. So you see how the application is deployed and how it's configured. So nothing wrong with this application, so I would like to download the application. So next thing is next. Now Liquit is going to ask me, how do you want to configure this application? This is actually the wizard, already known from the Setup Commander software. It's now integrated inside Liquit Workspace. So I check some features, which I like and which I don't like. And here you see more information about the setup for Chrome for Business. And here more information about Chromium. You see it redirects you to the websites, some homepage preferences. Of course, today I want to do liquid.com and some other important stuff. And a new feed, the release notes of the application. So what has been changed inside Liquit Workspace? It's actually a new one for me today. So I'm happy with my wizard. I configured my application just as I want it to be. I click on Save, I click on Next. For whom is this application available? Today I'm going to publish this application just for me. And of course I am a test user, so I am allowed to look at this application while it's in test. So, and now I need to hide this one a little. Oops. Can you still see the screen? Yeah. So, and now I want to publish my application test. I want to publish the application in my catalog. And I say confirm. Next. So, application packaging is now done. What's now going to happen? We're going to do a request to the Liquit Workspace servers. Or Liquit Release and Patch servers. We're going to download the application. We're going to parse that wizard into our service, creating a transform file for you. And Liquit is now downloading the application and create an MSI for you, creating that transform file for you, and creating all your Liquit deployment tasks for you. By this, your application packaging is actually done. So it takes a couple of minutes to download this application into your environment, and after this is progressed, the application is available, in this case, for my end users. I don't have to do anything else than just simply set up my filter task. In which scenarios is this application available for my end users? So Google Chrome is quite a big application, so it took a little time, but the application is there. So what have we created? Well, first of all, some tasks. So first we're going to download the Google MSI into a local directory. It's created all by Liquid. Next one is we're going to download the custom files into our local directory, so in our package temp also. The next one is we're going to deploy that application for you, and we're going to apply the silent parameters we already know. We're going to create a log file for you, so if something goes wrong, you can read out and find out what went wrong. And we're going to apply the transform file we've created based on our wizard. So these tasks are all created automatically. And here you see create a cleanup folder. So we also create our own, clean up our own mess. Up above you see here our DTEP staging. So this application now is in test stage. Now the users entitled to look into the test stage can test that application. So the application is actually already in my catalog. So I can request the application, and if I click on it, it will download and install and run that application for me. There are actually 2 Chromes right now available. So there's a new version because I changed the name. So I go to Google Chrome for Business, and now I think, oh, the application is ready for production. So what I'm going to do, I can drag this into production. Liquid now creates a snapshot. Are you sure you wish to publish the snapshot at test into production stage? Give it a name, Chrome version X, description, tested and ready for prod. And you can give some comments, help file is not working yet or something. Yet. Confirm. And now it's published into production. So it's removed from the test stage, and in development I can already rearrange this application and stage it to production to test again. So at any given time, 4 versions of Google Chrome can be available within one Liquid environment. So now the test users can test a new version, while the production users still work on the already introduced version. And when I think this one is ready, I can stage this to acceptance, creating a new snapshot. I can stage this into production, creating you a new snapshot again. This is the way we can automate application delivery for your end users with our setup store. And Liquit Setup Commander is now also able to create MSIX applications and Epitest application tasks within Liquit Workspace. So we are able to deliver on-demand Microsoft MSIX Epitest applications inside Windows Virtual Desktop without any scripting or manual work. That's one of the biggest additions we have in the last release we had. So looking at the time, I'm going to go to the next next slide. So this was the demo for now. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask us at any time. And of course, we can do a follow-up after this session. But if you have any questions, please let me know. And Linda Karen, if you would be so kind to tell us some more about the limited time offer.
Of course. I also want to come back to a couple of questions, but let me first talk about the special offer that we have for our Setup Commander customers. So you're already, seeing the benefits of Setup Commander. Hopefully you've seen how much Liquid Release and Patch Management and Liquid Workspace can help you out. So we have this offer that if you also add Liquid Workspace, we upgrade you for free to Liquid Release and Patch Management. So there's no extra cost for that. But we know that there's still a lot of information you may want to have. So there's 3 ways that you can reach out to us. Of course, we're always happy, as Nico said, to have a meeting with one of us or with a Liquid partner to talk about how this could work for you. We have demos available, of course, personalized demos for Liquid Release and Patch Management and Liquid Workspace. It was a lot of information in a short time that Nico just showed us. And we also have a 30-day trial option for you if that works for you. Nico, if I may, let me go back to, there weren't a lot of questions that came in, but there is one here that I wanted to ask you. let's see. You talked about the Windows environment, but how does that work for Mac and Linux endpoints?
So for Liquit Workspace, of course, our environment is flexible, so we can deliver applications on Linux and Mac. And the setup store is actually containing Mac applications. Of course, these things are going to be expanded in the near future. So we have a focus on delivering Mac applications and, of course, delivering applications on any platform.
Great. And then something about the Microsoft Store applications. Is there a way for you to quickly show how we deal with those?
Yeah, Liquit is able to publish those Windows applications from the store, those universal apps, as a task within Liquit Workspace. I didn't have it prepared, of course, in this session, but if you want to have a further deep dive about it, Liquit is able to deliver and deploy those applications for you. So you can lock down the Enterprise App Store and Liquit can deploy those applications. I am more than happy to show that in a one-on-one session with you.
Okay, great. Thanks again, Nico, for the great demo. As I mentioned, there is a lot of information for you in the Attachments tab. There's a few ways to get a hold of us. Please do not hesitate to reach out with any questions you might have. And for now, I want to thank you for your time. Nico, thank you as well. And hopefully we'll talk soon again. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, everybody. Bye.